कैसे है आप लोग? नहीं नहीं, ये लाइन बोल के मेरे को फेमस नहीं होना. But yeah, my name is Sarun Kaure and I'm the student of XLRI Delhi campus and also the member of Marketing Association of XLRI. To begin with, like ये podcast है हमारी Inside Maxi Mela series. So multiple episodes होंगे. There will be multiple seniors. They'll come, they'll share their memories and things that they experienced at Maxi Mela. So ये Maxi Mela है क्या exactly? So it is the version of Maxi Fair which is conducted in XLRI Jamshedpur and we conduct Maxi Mela at XLRI Delhi. But not in the campus, we conduct it at DLF Cyber Hub in Gurgaon. To tell you more about what Maxi Mela or Maxi Fair exactly is, it is a consumer insight-driven event for brand visibility and having that rich quality data from the consumers in a disguised manner. So what do you mean by disguised manner? So suppose मैं किसी मॉल में गया या कहीं पे भी किसी कंज्यूमर रिसर्च इवेंट में गया, तो देयर विल बी पीपल हु विल कम अप टू यू, दे विल गिव यू सर्वे फॉर्म्स एंड आस्क यू टू फिल दोस सर्वेस. बट क्या तुम कभी भरोगे? तुम्हें बोरिंग नहीं लगेगा? सो दैट इज द रीजन वी कंडक्ट डिस्गाइज्ड मार्केटिंग. तो उसमें क्या होता है कि वी डिजाइन स्पेसिफिक गेम्स फॉर डिफरेंट ब्रांड्स जो हमारे पास रिसर्च प्रोजेक्ट्स लेके आती है. वी मेक डिफरेंट गेमिफाइड एक्सपीरियंसेस फॉर देयर रिसर्च प्रॉब्लम्स. So Maxi is like 55 years old now and we have been carrying out this event from last 55 years. So we have collaborated with n number of brands like be it Maruti Suzuki, be it ITC, be it PNG, HUL, you name the brand, we have sometime collaborated with them in the past. So this year also we are planning to have Maxi Mela. Planning क्या है? अभी तो होगा Maxi Mela 21-22 फरवरी को and in that मेला और भी ब्रांड्स आएंगे, न्यू कोलैबोरेशंस होंगी एंड बहुत सारा डेटा क्रंचिंग होगा. बट लोगों को पता नहीं चलेगा सिंस इट्स अ डिस्गाइज्ड मार्केटिंग इवेंट. एंड इसी इवेंट के लिए सोचा कि चलो लोगों को भी बताया जाए एग्जैक्टली मैक्सी मेला होता क्या है. मे बी द ब्रांड्स जो हम पे ट्रस्ट करती है फॉर द डेटा, दे माइट बी सीइंग दिस एंड हमारी क्रेडिबिलिटी भी बढ़ जाए. टॉकिंग मोर अबाउट मैक्सी मेला, इट इज अ इवेंट जहाँ पे 2 दिन का वी बुक द DLF साइबर हब का एम्फी थिएटर एरिया. We set up different stalls for different brand visibility and also the stalls for the research projects. And this research project is actually carried out by the students of XLRI. So you know that XLRI never does something subpar. So the data that we provide to the brands are of very high quality. The research, the insights that we give them are really helpful. Talking about some past experiences, we have helped brands like ABN Bev to understand their audience well. Launch of Omni into B2B segment was outcome of Maxi Fair at Jamshedpur. So yeah, we look forward to engage with brands in different capacity. We want that XLRI students have on-ground experience of such things. We want our students to be capable of conducting actual consumer research. So when they go out in the world, do their sales job, marketing job, they have the skill set that will help them excel there. So this is a win-win event for the students, the brands, as well as the institute itself. We have heard a lot of things about Maxi Mela from me, but now it's time to get along with the seniors and get to know their experiences of Maxi Mela, the life at XLRI, and the fun memories that they have made in this past 2 years. So let's get rolling, and we would like to welcome the first senior of this episode, this series. So let's get started. Welcome to our first episode of this podcast. And we have Dhruv with us. There was this thing कि हम जब कॉलेज आए थे तो सीनियर्स हमसे पूछते थे कि tell me about yourself. आज मैं ध्रुव से पूछ रहा हूँ, tell me about yourself.
So hi, I'm Dhruv Vassi, second year student at XLRI Delhi, and today I'm here to talk about Maxi Mela.
Yeah, Maxi Mela, the hot topic of our college right now. So ध्रुव ये बताओ, Maxi Mela जब फर्स्ट एडिशन हुआ था तो तुम्हें क्या आइडिया था उसका कि Maxi Mela होता क्या है जब तुम कॉलेज आए थे?
Okay, so I was one of the few people who wasn't aware about what Maxi is, what Maxi Mela entails. I think everyone, when they're sort of shortlisting the colleges, they do have like a fair idea of which societies are there, what major events there are. I did not do any research.
You are just like me. Even I did not know what Maxi Mela is, and yet here I am, member of Marketing Association of XLRI.
The host, yes.
I'm the host.
Yeah, so when I came here is when I found out about it, and again found out that Maxi Fair has been, I think, was first held in 1978, and then I think just the year before I came here was when XLRI Delhi sort of implemented its first version of that, which is the Maxi Mela. And the more and more I found out about it, firstly, I was grateful that I'm not in Maxi. I don't have to do any of the grunt work behind it. Secondly, the concept is very interesting to me. I was very intrigued by it. What is this guy's marketing research? How do they conduct it? Why is it taking place in cyber hub? So I was sort of filled with questions.
It was like even when now we are being taught BRM, I understood what exactly secondary and primary research is, and that's when my intuition like rose कि ये करना चाहिए अपने को यहाँ implement कर सकते हैं. तो ध्रुव मुझे बताइए आपको कौन सी कंपनी मिली थी research project के लिए और क्या था research project आपका?
Okay, so my team and I, we were very lucky to get a research project with ABNF. We were all very excited. Firstly, being fans of the product.
Obviously.
Yeah. Everyone at Excel is a fan of ABNF.
I think मैं interrupt करना चाहूँगा. हमारे यहाँ पे MAXI नहीं है.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
XLRI अगर ये वीडियो देख रहे हैं तो उनको पता होगा कि कौन सी ब्रांड का क्या फेमस कहाँ है. So let's continue with your research project.
Yeah, we were all very excited. Firstly because of the product, as I said, and secondly because we didn't know what to really expect. You would think a company which sells alcohol might not have the best morals, or you won't know what to expect from them. But ABNBev is also known for a great work culture, and I think we loved working with the brand because of that. So we were working with two sub brands under ABNBev, Budweiser and Hogarden, and we got two different problem statements for them. So even though ABNBev has been at the top for nearly 2 decades, it's consistently evolving and sort of revamping itself to align with the younger generations. So, and that was very much reflected in the problem statements we got. So for Budweiser, the problem statement that we got was that, whether Gen Z aligns more with ambition, conviction and individuality, which our interpretation was, okay, whether Gen Z is long-term goal-driven or in celebration and enjoyment of daily wins, or whether, they tend to enjoy the daily aspects, the daily wins. So that was one. And for Hogarden, essentially, Hogarden is their premium offering. So they wanted to strengthen its premium positioning. And for that, we had to devise a 360-degree marketing plan, which covered all aspects from, okay, where does firstly Hogarden rank amongst the beers which are available in terms of premiumness? Secondly, what do consumers look for in a premium beer? Thirdly, then similarly, we had to essentially identify touch points or influencer collaborations and event alignments for Hogarden.
So it sounds like a case competition work actually done, because rather a lot of students who are watching this, they know how they work in case comps and GPT से क्या क्या करवाते हो. But Maxi Mela में we did actually do consumer research. So उसका result ये था कि आपको पता चल गया कि कौन सी beer किसको पसंद है, क्या preferences है.
Yeah, I think very much so. And the point of the research wasn't even to prove that essentially ABNBev beers are better than other brands. They were just, I think, that's why they're at the top, because the point is they're still trying to get better, and I think that's something we all can learn from.
Yeah, that's definitely a thing that every student, everyone in this world should approach for being best at what they do. Let's know from him that how did he trap his consumers into answering his questions for alcohol brand. So can you just tell us what was exactly the game that you asked your consumers to play at Maxi Mela?
Okay, so firstly, trapping consumers sounds a lot more fun and easier than it is actually. So, there was so much work being put into it, because again, we got these two problem statements from the brand, and then what they devised us, what they expected from us was to devise a set of games which essentially, check all the boxes. We got a three-page long problem statement, but from that we had to nitpick things and figure out, okay, what is there, what are the sort of sub-objectives they have. And, we had to devise games accordingly. And with each and every game, it was okay, how many data points can we cover here? And at the same time, the challenge for us was that the game needs to be simple, the game needs to be easy to understand, and at the same time, engaging. So we sort of ended up creating this 10 to 15 minute circuit in our stall within CyberHub, where, consumers would go from one game to another while being engaged in a storyline as well. So our storyline was Beer Na Milegi Dobara, as inspired by Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara. And again, they've been given tasks at each point, and they have to play the game. And it's all based, there's no right or wrong answer there. They're only choosing as per their own, you could say, liking.
So in that game, you never mentioned to consumers about any beer or anything. It was purely just Bollywood theme based, or was there some hints inside it?
Okay, so yeah. that is one aspect where, because it was so specific for us, we had to essentially, the first question we did ask them was, do you drink beer? Because otherwise, that data is irrelevant for us. And we can't just let them play the entire game, because then they're essentially stopping us from getting the
actual data from the actual consumer.
Yeah. So the very first thing, our team was called Beers. It was, no, our team was called, our stall was called the Brew Crew. The game was called Beer Na Milegi Dobara. So beer was at the center. There was no mention of AB and BAF. And again, they were so engaged in the storyline that, again, I don't think they were able to figure out what the point of the game was.
So from what I can recall is, like you mentioned, you had two brands, Hogarden and Budweiser. So you were particularly involved with the Hogarden's problem statement, right?
No, actually, I ended up being involved with both. We were running games.
As in every MBA student, he is everywhere. You are also everywhere.
You're jack of all trades.
Yeah.
Master of some. I would say some.
So Dhruv, I've had this doubt in my mind. You had a single game for both brands. What if you had two different stalls for these two brands? You could have collected more data in parallel.
That is a thought that crossed our minds. But when we got down to it, in terms of the execution, that okay, then one customer has to essentially just go through one circuit in one stall. They don't have to be subjected to like a similar thing again. Plus also that because both are beer brands, they're very closely linked. They have a very similar target group, even though one might be more premium. But again, similar target group, and the information, because essentially we were devising a 360-degree marketing plan for Hogarden. We were also able to take away insights for Budweiser from that. So I think without it being like okay, we can do them separately, it would be better. I think they both added to each other. I think the game, each and every game was designed in a way also that it's not just contributing to one brand, it's contributing to both the brands.
So was it very tiring to collect all this data, or was it fun?
Oh, okay. The aftermath, I think once it was all over and done with, I can look back at it very fondly. But at that point of time, you have to play so many roles as well. That, at one moment you're going and doing essentially a sales job where you're asking people to come and see, and you're telling them that you're MBA students from XLRI, please come and, try this for a hamper. And the next moment you're essentially hosting the games. You're interacting with the customers, everyone who's there, engaging with them. And then you sort of keep switching between data collection. Then you're the one sitting at the end and collecting the data. And then before that, you were doing game designing. After that, you'll end up decoding the entire data. So it's a very hectic process. But again, the learning opportunities here are immense.
I can understand that, being a member of MAXI. And Dhruv, one question or one doubt that many of our batchmates, like my batchmates right now, would be having is how to acquire the RP, because there are limited RPs at MAXI MELA and every batchmate is fighting for that one particular slot. So what are the tips that you would like to give to our juniors?
Again, I would say, do take this very seriously as you do a case competition. Because again, there are, like, as I said, there are CE points on the line, there are immense learning opportunities on the line, and you would only, I think, understand the heart of the Mela if you're, involved in it. So definitely take it very seriously. I would say something that worked out very well for me was, I sort of, typically what happens is people just end up making participating in a group project with the closest of their friends. And then what sort of it leads to is, it ends up being at times a low effort project. Here, I think I was sort of introduced to a new group, so I ended up making more friends because of it. And a lot of us were from different backgrounds, so we were all able to bring something different to the table. And I think when we put our minds together, that's why we were able to crack both the RPs.
Apart from all this friendships and all the experience, कुछ ऐसा है जो तुम्हारे एंड से ऐड करना चाहो कि मैक्सी मेला में ये चीज मैंने करी, ये मुझे फायदा हुआ? Did it help you out in your shortlisting later on, or maybe some interviews that you gave for final placements? How did it pan out for you?
Okay, I think it definitely helped. And it's only because I think as a fresher, at least when I came here, I came in with very limited experiences. You may have done an internship here or there, but you don't have that sort of exposure to working with such a big brand. So I think when I sat for my finals with AB and Bev on my CV, I think it definitely, firstly, internally, I was a lot more confident that, okay, now I've slogged here. This is something which adds value to my CV. And secondly, I think, you can speak to people from other MBAs. What really distinguishes you? It's that I think you've sort of things that people have only learned about, you've here, I think, implemented each and everything. And I think, so I did end up discussing that in one of my interviews, and the interviewer was impressed. Again, those who are aware about it, naturally, they can relate to it. And those who aren't aware about it are fascinated by it, just as I was.
That is so like great to hear. And one more thing, I think you would also agree to this part is maybe अपना campus थोड़ा सा outside में है, but because of that we get to do Mela in Cyber City, Cyber Hub. So that is something that other colleges cannot do, or they don't do because they have their own campuses nearby city or in the city. So I think this makes our Maxi Mela more inside, like it has more data to collect. It has the actual consumers that come for a fun weekend, and then we test our games on them. Like the data is high quality. And what do you think about it? Are we on the same page?
Yeah, I think definitely. I think being in Cyber Hub definitely has its own advantages. Firstly, we get to represent Excel in Cyber Hub. Again, people are just walking by. Not everyone is going to do an MBA. But through things like these, they get exposed to the Excel brand name. They get exposed to the students who they see are working so hard. Again, a lot of people who are just sort of passing by, because there's a lot of working professionals there as well. And I think I remember one of them coming up to me and being like, "I know what you're doing," and I was like, "Okay, okay. Then do you want to try it?" Then I think he was busy, so he ended up coming the next day. When he was again just in Cyber Hub to chill, so you got to see both the sides of it, as a working professional and then someone coming to chill. And again, representing Excel there, and you're very much right, because there are people come from so many backgrounds just working there. I think the sort of data pool is very, very rich.
One last question is when you collected all that data from the consumers, how did you interpret that data, and what exactly did you give back to the companies who were involved?
Okay, so this entire process is very, very, sort of long drawn and hectic. Again, first you get the problem statement, you nitpick what objectives the company has, what all data needs to be collected. Accordingly, you design the games, and even in the games, you sort of have to numerically code all the games, so that if they choose say option A, it gets coded as 1, 2, 3, 4, which then again you have to decode later on. And we had to use, I think I saw a lot of MBA concepts, and the in-depth curriculum we're exposed to, I saw a lot of them getting implemented in real life, and sort of had to get my hands dirty as well, using Excel. Then from Excel you go to SPSS, then you go back to Excel. Some people are using a completely different software, because again the amount of data we had, just Excel alone couldn't digest it, or couldn't be used to analyze it. And then finally, when everything is done, you decode it back into the objectives. Where, for example, finally we were able to figure out that for Ho Garden, smoothness and flavor were two of the attributes which I think the Gen Z prefers when they think of a premium beer. Similarly, for Budweiser, we figured out that 2/3 of the people actually align with celebration and enjoyment of daily meals, essentially.
We'll also have one senior coming up for Budweiser as well. But yeah, you have pretty much summed it up. And one last question for you: what was the most fun moment at Maxi Mela?
I think it was full of great moments. But I think initially we did have to do a little bit of, you could say, sales work, where we were asking people to come to the stall to see. But then I think around the, you could say, evening mark, I think something magical just happens, and you see more and more people are coming to the stalls. And I think the crowd just keeps on pulling more and more crowd. And I think when that happened, because of the success of the first edition of the Maxi Mela, we knew that we had a very tough job on our hands to be able to live up to it. I'm not even saying to beat it, but to be able to live up to what they did. So I think when that, I think you could say 4:30 hit on the clock, and I could see the interest that we were able to garner, and especially because we are sort of cutting out the non-beer drinkers, as well as people who are under the age of 18. We can't basically make them play the game. So I think when that happened, and we knew that we would not just meet our goal, but sort of beat it, I think that was definitely a great feeling. And of course, then after that, enjoying with all your friends at Cyber Hub.
Did we have a wet night at Cyber Hub?
Again, I can't confirm on that.
That is something internal. We'll talk. Light है. ये light है term बहुत हम use करते हैं. तो ये किसने इजाद किया है इसे light है?
यार मेरे को पता नहीं एग्जैक्टली होता क्या है कि I will tell you, one thing that is the case is कि seniors सारा काम करते हैं. Seniors, all these terms originate from the seniors. So last year I remember our seniors used to say, "Oh man." So पूरा 360 people are just saying, "Oh man," ऐसे randomly. Now I think I would like to believe it originated from our batch. तो हमारे batch में light है कि अच्छा रहने दो, भी कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता. तो अब now I think that is the
ये लाइट का वायरस बाकी भी स्कूल्स में भी फैल गया. मैं परसों अपने आईएम के एक दोस्त से बात कर रहा था. कुछ तो बात हुई एंड ही इज लाइक लाइट है भाई, लाइट है. मैंने बोला ये एक्सेस ही गया है यहाँ पे, पहले तो नहीं करता था ये लाइट है.
I would like to think we always have these terms or things which stand out.
हमेशा एक्सेल आ रहा है, ऐसा कुछ बनाता है कि वो सदियों तक रह जाता है. एंड अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, अभी तुम जा रहे हो, कॉलेज खत्म हो रहा है, तो कैसा था लाइक वन मेमोरेबल मोमेंट इन योर एमबीए लाइफ एट XLRI?
Okay, one
अपार्ट फ्रॉम मैक्सी मेला.
Okay. Another thing which our college does very well, I think the first Nathan Brawl probably I saw.
मुझे लगा ड्रैग तो कोई इवेंट बोलेगा. बेसिकली ही इज द सीनियर फ्रॉम ड्रैकुला कमिटी. क्या करते हैं ड्रैकुला?
Okay, Dracula is one of the cultural committees here at XLRI. We throw the best events on campus.
जरा इवेंट्स का डिटेल आपको यहाँ आगे पता चल जाएगा.
Okay, yes. But we throw very unique events and events which have a lot of importance within the campus.
जैसे कि प्रॉम नाइट हुआ था अभी, आई वाज द वन स्टैंडिंग इन द कॉर्नर जब ये रोमांटिक गाने बजा रहे थे एंड मैं कपल्स को देखे जा रहा हूँ कि डांस हो रहा है. हम सिंगल लौंडों के लिए कुछ नहीं किया, ये लोगों ने.
See, MBA में आपको सारी प्लेसमेंट्स की अपॉर्चुनिटीज मिलती है. It's what you can make the best of.
समझ रहा हूँ मैं कहाँ जा रहा है ये.
Again, I would say the best memory here would definitely be, I think, attending last year's farewell, which we had for the seniors. Not saying that because it was held by my committee, but I think, at that moment, even though you're a first year student, I think you sort of go through a recap of your first year. And then you're also at the same time absorbing the fact that, these people who sort of mentored me for a year are going. And now, it's like the passing of the torch that takes place. And now you have to do the same for your juniors.
Yeah, I feel the heat of that torch coming closer to me because, even the thought of it, that seniors would be leaving now, it makes me a little bit sad because literally they have helped us in a lot of ways. Maybe those like SIP के time CV बना के देना, या हमें चिल्ला के PI स्लॉट्स दिलवाना और फिर PI में हमारी मारना. तो बहुत मजा किया, लाइक सीनियर्स के साथ भी बहुत मजा किया, बहुत कुछ सीखने भी मिला एंड आई एम वेरी ग्रेटफुल कि मुझे ऐसे सीनियर्स मिले.
Same. I'm very grateful for my batch, my juniors, my seniors. I think definitely I will cherish everything these two days.
So like for upcoming XAT and CAT students, what would you like to tell them? How exciting the MBA life is and should they join XLRI Delhi? There is a lot of bias regarding should they join XLRI Delhi or not. So in your perspective, you have spent 2 years here and you have spoken to a lot of seniors as well and a lot of juniors from our batch. What do you think? What should they do?
So first of all, I think everyone has sort of their preferences. I would say when approaching CAT and XAT, I think beforehand only you should probably like curate a list of colleges that you would be looking for. I don't think you should do MBA out of desperation. Yeah. Now coming on to XLRI Delhi, I think my experience has been phenomenal. And that's not to say that at every point everything has gone right for me. It truly hasn't. I think I've been humbled. And that's I've failed. And that's when I guess it's cliche to say, but I think that's when you get to learn the most. So I look back at my MBA journey as being full of ups and downs, but I would definitely advise everyone to come to XLRI Delhi. I think a lot of people have this sort of preconception in mind where they're like, the Jamshedpur branch is 75 years old and this is just 5 to 6 years old. So should we opt for it? 100%. I think we also know as students we work very hard to maintain the same culture here.
Asking very personal question, if you are allowed to tell which company you got placed in, should you tell or let the reports speak of themselves?
I can say the domain. So I'm a fresher and I'll be working as a consultant soon, which again is just crazy to me.
It's crazy, yeah.
Because you don't hear of many freshers who get the opportunity.
So as he has said consultant, we could just do a guesstimate. Like he'll be earning around 30 plus lakhs at least, I feel.
I can't confirm what that
is. Can't confirm. The placement reports you'll find out sooner or later. And like placement convener would fire us if this goes out in public.
Yeah. So we have to be careful. But again, XLRI Delhi is definitely worth joining. You get access to the same opportunities as the Jamshedpur students do. Again, so the students here are working really hard to maintain the same culture. You know, that we see the work that's being put into MAXI MELA and all the other fests that take place here. And then I don't think anyone who actually ends up coming here or who has friends here would ever question the fact.
So, what do you think? What's more exciting, Maxi Fair or Maxi Mela?
I think they both have their own perks, with Maxi Fair, I think definitely the legacy aspect is there. And because it happens within the college, I think the exciting part is that they can invite artists. But with Maxi Mela, I look back at those 2 days so fondly. I think it was a very special experience because they were so hectic. But at the end of the day, then you're with your best friends and you get to enjoy the life of CyberHub. And again, you're getting to interact with such a diverse pool of people, that in terms of the data points, I might just give the edge to Maxi Mela.
That's it. Like we also, when I came to MBA college, I was not expecting of making such great memories. Like it's been only 1 year here, and it feels like I've joined just like a couple of months ago. But yeah, a lot of memories have been created, and I'm sure that Dhruv is soon going to leave the campus, and we all will miss him. When is your convocation, or maybe the last day of college?
So officially, our last day of college is on the 1st of March, and I think we'll be having our convocation on the 7th of April. Definitely going to be they're going to be 2 emotional days.
The 2 most you can say hard days for all the seniors, like the campus that they stayed for like 2 years, the rooms that they decorated with their heart out, everything they're going to miss. But yeah, that's the part and parcel of the life. So that's it. Like बहुत अच्छा लगा ध्रुव आपसे बात करके. Like आपके साथ और भी सीनियर्स आएंगे, हमें बताएंगे मैक्सी मेला के उनके एक्सपीरियंस क्या थे. And I wish you like इस साल प्लेसमेंट तो अच्छी हुई है and आपकी कंसल्टिंग जर्नी बहुत अच्छी हो. And yeah, let's see you guys in the next episode of this podcast, catching up with another senior from XLRI. Thank you.
Thank you. Best of luck.